Hello guys, Hikiami Moriko desu, and welcome to another indie game. This one's called Happiness in quotes, Def, from definition I'm guessing. So let's start the game. I'm walking, there's numbered rooms. This is animated, so that's amazing. Wow, this is animated, amazing. The room is still quiet, and your sister. I'm sorry about that. And your sister Charlotte doesn't make a single sound. She sits in silence as she always does. This isn't the first time it's happened since you made this room. You develop a routine for when she comes here. You sit down and talk to her first. Slow first steps, the same one you always take back when you come back here for her. Okay, so I'm just a quick guess. This is like a mental hospital or something. But it says I developed this room, right? So, let's see. It won't hurt to examine your surroundings for old time's sake. You decide to examine, yes. The room is completely white and still with a single window. Wow, this game is good at making an atmosphere. I can already tell. A simple unassuming design that could easily deceive anyone who glanced inside. Even after so many years, it has remained the same. Same room, same story. It's the same with Charlotte. You had always known her staring around. She doesn't react to you as you start to approach the chair. Wow, and it's fully animated? When you sit down, you enter the virtual world you create long ago. Okay, I'm gonna save my assumptions of the game to the ending of the game, because this game is really something. I can already tell. When you sit down, you enter the virtual world you created long ago. It is a hauntingly familiar room, completely bare except for the sunlit window. Just the way you intended when you created. You and your sister sit side by side once more. How many more times will she do this? Crosses your mind, but you shake it away. She's waiting for you to talk. Just as patient as ever. Turn your head slowly, you pull up as much courage as you can. Examine her or talk. When moving and staring right at you, her eyes tell you, quite unnervingly, that she expected your arrival. She looks thin, exhausted. Doesn't she know you're exhausted too? She stares silently and you know she won't talk first. I was told that you've been here for longer than usual. You're trying not to feel unsettled by her stare, and it's really hard to not feel unsettled. That's quite the stare. That's a dead stare. Like I'm just gonna let's appreciate the stare for a second, guys. This artificial world is one that you made for the both of you when you were struggling together. My coworkers told me that you've been waiting for me. They send their regards. You're not struggling together anymore, though. That's why you were the one coming back and she was the one who remained. You know, I spent 5 years spent making this. 5 years spent making a room that we can't even walk around. Your hand makes a gesture. We are adults now, aren't we, Charlotte? Surely your college classes are giving you enough to do that sit around here all day. Surely I should have to keep reminding you to move on from this place. She got mad. She doesn't respond to your words. They lack accusation, but she stares at you like she's anticipating it. Already worried, you wonder if you should ask how long she's been here. It's hard to not snap at her, and you feel as though you will eventually. I don't want to snap at her, let's ask. How long had you been here? Since the morning. Oh, she can't talk. Okay, that's good. You're so glad to hear her voice despite it being hoarse and monotone. It hasn't even been that long since you heard it. Could you suggest leaving so you could speak to her in a better setting? You're not sure how she'll handle that. It's worth a shot, isn't it? The other part of you selfishly wonders why you were even here, bending to her will. The years have mattered you, yet you feel as though your patience is already wearing thin. Maybe you just stay silent and try to let her talk. She will. You've done enough of it already. Will you get her to respond better? In the end, oh man, I love games with choices, but these are hard choices to make. You know, in this case, I'm guessing we have some kind of trauma together. Maybe your parents died or went through something traumatic. So I would stay silent sometimes. You just have to let people. Well, I've been doing this for quite a while, right? I made this room and I've been coming back for years, according to the game. But I'm gonna give it one more chance. I'm gonna stay silent. It's deafening how strange it is to miss a voice that frustrates you so much. The silence reigns once more and you struggle to come up with a response. She stands beside you. She won't say anything else. This always happens when you find her in the room. Perhaps it's best to think things through before speaking once more. Then again, perhaps it'd be best to talk it out before she slips away from you again and becomes completely unresponsive. Oh my god. Oh my god, I think I made it worse. Well, she wants me to talk, so I'm gonna talk once. Where is the music? Did I ruin this whole thing? The breath you take is shaky and you prepare yourself to break the silence. Why stay here? Those are the words you manage to get out instead of reproaching her for acting so distant from her brother, the only family she could rely on. Don't you know that you have the choice to move on from this, to forget it? I don't think she has that option. It takes her a moment to respond and she looks empty, staring at what lies before her. Closing her eyes for a few seconds, she looks exhausted and you know her response will be just as terribly solemn as her expression. The more you stare at her face, remembering how her eyes will never truly look back at you, the more anxiety and worry twist in your stomach. You already know what I want to say. Her voice is a whisper. But it just doesn't work the way you want it to. You know, the way the game does these screen effects to express emotions, it's really well done. Frustration bursts in your chest and hands in a familiar way. The temptation to get up from the chair and leave you here for good overwhelms you. But you don't. The moment you get up from the chair, all of it will disappear. There used to be an unspoken rule back when you first revealed the room to her. You will only stay until you couldn't hold back from trying to reach for those wells and golden glows from the eternal sunset. It was a harsh slap in the face when you came back to reality. I'm so tired of this. Your anger speaks for you, crackling and tearing through the patience that think too much not to break. I am so tired of you acting like this, like it's so hard to let go, and then you never ever bother to listen. You're tired? Oh no, she's mad. Her voice trembles in the midst of your sentence and rises to cut it off. Oh no. You're tired? You're the one who always shoved yourself into my life, telling me how to live with what I went through. You always tell me to move on, to let go, the kind of things you tell someone when they've lost something that can't be forgotten. And yet you were the one who built this place, the one who made it so that we'd never be able to forget. You scold me for reminding you about this room and mother. You told me that this room was made so we could move on, but I know the real reason. It's because you can't. The truth. Oh my god. This game is intense. She knows what you lock away deep within. The truth behind the room, the circuits that you wish you would die. You refuse to look at its bleeding selfishness for years and years and keep it hidden. You smother it whenever it screams too loud for you to bear until it will silence itself, only for it to scream again. It's screaming the loudest in this moment. And it really is screaming. It screamed the word. It doesn't matter what I. Well, the game is called Happiness. The game is called Happiness, right? And yet, as you always did, you refused to listen. There had been nothing to fear back then when you were children. You were protecting that small room that had given you the most memorable shelter. The both of you feared nothing back then, yet that was all you could feel now. You sat in the remains of your childhood, shrouded in the flow of the preserved ending, afternoon, and a perfection that time will never allow. Just as you've done so many times. There was no longer anyone that you could scream and blame, and you knew you could never do that to Charlotte. Once more, the two of you sit side by side in the room that trapped you for years. It will continue to do so, protecting you from the world beyond its walls. She will continue to come here and draw you back in. Your thoughts steam from questions and cries are lulled to sleep in the silence. The sun will always be at the brink of setting. The darkness will never come. You're safe. You will never leave, and neither will she. Even when all else fails, and you're still left with no words. And unanswered. Wow, there's... What is this? So there's multiple endings in this game. So that was 10 minutes of the game. I'm wondering if I should try once more to try to get another ending. I don't want to play all the game through, because then there's no reason for you guys to go play the game. So I'm gonna give it another go, and if I don't get a satisfactory ending, well, that's it. If you guys want to play the game right now, before seeing more of it, the link is down in the description as always. You can check all the games I played before. So let's start again. You know, this is a surprisingly well done game. I don't mean it. I wasn't expecting a bad game. It's just like when with visual novels, you kind of expect like something from medium level, but this is top tier level. So okay, let's just sit down. Because also that you get to examine the room or just sit down, it's intended for be played multiple times. So let's just talk. Okay, so we know that. So I'm just guessing. Maybe mom killed herself, or mom and dad used to fight a lot. You know, because I guess like most of us or kids or something that didn't grow up in a good family environment. I don't know, when my parents used to fight a lot when I was a kid, I would just like hide in the room. We only had one room, right? So I just hide under the bed. So I guess that's like a safe space for these guys, for these people, this room. And you know, the protagonists say that his sister, it's the one dragging him in, but I feel it's the other way around. Like she said, why build this room if you want to move on, right? I mean, I guess I understand, right? It's a safe space, so he wanted to like make the thing that make them feel safe before. But sometimes, and by sometimes I mean like all the time, you have to move on from the good things and the bad things of the past, so you can find more good things. I know it's kind of hard. I'm not a person that likes to change my environment. I like everything to stay the same when it's good, right? I don't like when it's bad. So what if I snap, right? I will normally not snap in this kind of situations, but and this is a big but. You have to understand, we've been doing this for quite a while, right? So I come here, we have the same conversation, I go, and I like to think of myself as a calm person, as a chill individual. But when you are having the same problem time and time again, I tend to snap really hard, like really hard. So let's snap at her. Your temper rises from her silence, and you do your best to keep your voice down. I'm talking to you, answer me. Her body is still, but she winces through her eyes, squinting ever so slightly in still discomfort. Sorry. Her discomfort is hidden by the harshness and monotony of her voice, and though it was a road start, you're glad to hear it. Could you suggest leaving so you could speak to her in a better setting? It's worth a shot, isn't it? The other part of you selfishly wonders, Okay, let's move out from this place. You make a gesture with your hand to leave, but make no effort to stand up just yet. Come on, let's get out of here. You heading out of this room, we can. No. Oh my god, she's mad. And the hostility in her voice makes you freeze for a moment. Are you serious, Wyatt? Okay, my name is Wyatt. You just got here and you want to leave already? You recognize the look in her eyes. That speaks all the inside words she has always wanted to say. The words you spoke to her earlier come to mind, and you know that you deserve the hostility. You're surprised she managed to hold back from yelling. We're not leaving, not yet. Okay, not yet, but she's willing to leave. Okay, so maybe we can like take the correct choices and eventually make her leave. Because I'm guessing that's the good quote unquote ending, that we leave together the room and never come back, so we can move on from whatever happened. But you know, having these conversations, it's not easy in real life, and I'm guessing it's not easy in this game. It's an artificial world, but the anger you feel is real. The way your face twists in frustration is real. The string of things you want to shout at her are real. But you take a moment to recollect yourself and remind yourself that though what you feel and what she says are real, it's the artificial world composed of real memories that make you feel this way. Your parents will never understand, though they tried their best at first. They tried to dissuade you from creating this room. Okay, my parents are still alive. Okay, that's good, I guess. And generally believe that something must have been very wrong. Of course they didn't understand why. No one except you and Charlotte could ever understand why you wanted to have this room. It was a simple reminder, a way to cope. Your parents hated that. Yeah, parents tend to hate coping mechanisms because they don't understand it. Years of pushing them away had succeeded now. You and your sister were all alone. You both continued to seek refuge in a broken room you made for broken children. Yet she was still taking advantage of it as an adult. You know why? You know how fondly she thinks of mother. So it will be better to try to reconnect with our parents, right? I mean, I'm not the one to talk. I don't have a good relationship with my parents. I won't say it's a bad relationship either, but it's like, I think it's a normal relationship, right? You tend to drift away from family eventually. The silence reigns once more, and you struggle to come up with a response. She stands beside you. She won't say anything else. This always happens when you find her in the room. For us, it's best to think things through before speaking once more. Okay, I think I talked because I was fearing she would go away, but I'm gonna think this time. It's best to think some things over. You think about happiness? Happiness, yeah. Let's think about happiness. Nothing comes to mind. You decide to speak. Maybe mom or something? Yeah, I should have to think about her or me or... maybe I have to put the specific words in there. I don't know. The breath you take isn't shaky and you prepare yourself to break the silence. Why stay here? Okay, this is already... Okay, this is what happened before. Okay, this is what happened before. Okay, this is different. Oh no, I don't know why you bother existing when you know how much of a burden you are. Okay, that's not the way. Oh my god, what the fuck? Did you guys see that? Something appeared here. Okay, I shouldn't have skipped that. I'm sorry about skipping. I was thinking it was the same dialogue from before. Oh my god, this game really got really. Maybe my sister is not even here. Then leave. Oh no, she's crying. Jesus Christ, I fuck up. This is the bad ending, right? It's the quickest she's answered and the most confident she's ever sounded. She says nothing afterwards, and the way she stares into you, the sunset burns into your hair, into your head. I want to look once more at that thing that's appearing to me. It's like leaning over me, right? Yeah, it's kind of... It's her leaning on me? It's sickeningly bright in the room you create yourself from the memories the both of you shared. You yearn for the sun to set and ready to make way for the darkness that always followed. But that never happened in this room. This captured memory that will never descend into the darkness and bring sleep to weary souls who have gone through too much. She doesn't want to leave. When you stand up, the familiar white walls of the room in a comfort to your weary eyes. Yeah, it's her, right? The one that's laying on me. The steps you take toward the door are heavy, and when you look back, she sits as still as she did the first came in. Okay, she doesn't want to leave. The room of eternal sunset and facades is all she wants to see. Well then, that's fine. Facades were what you did best. She will never truly leave, and neither would. That is the answer you realized. Happy? How is this happy? How is this ending happy? So yeah, I was right about mentioning that maybe my sister wasn't really there, right? Because yeah, okay, I think I'm getting the plot. Happy end. Okay, but it's happiness on quotes, right? So I might be wrong about the game. Right. I guess I still have like other choices to make and other dialogues to listen. But after this ending, I think I have an understanding of what happened. So maybe something. I mean, of course, something bad happened. But I think my sister committed suicide for some reason. Maybe bullying. Maybe it was my fault. So the protagonist couldn't cope with the loss of the sister, so he made this room so he could still be with his sister, and that's why the parents didn't want him to make the room, because that's like, why would you make a room to be with your dead sister that's no longer there, right? So that's why she never leaves, because she's not really anywhere. So she's always there when you are there, because of course she is, right? Because she's on your mind. Maybe I'm missing something, but oh my god, the and I don't say oh my god often, but the horror elements, I don't think it's quite horror. It's more like psychological anguish. Like she appearing by my side, like flashing, and she hanging herself and stuff, and the music. Man, that scene was one of the greatest scenes of visual novels I have ever seen. This is a great game. So maybe there's other endings, I don't know, or maybe there's other options, or maybe writing something in the text boxes changes something. I'm not sure. So if you guys want to play this game, the link is down in the description. Thank you, developer, for making this great game, and thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next indie game or stream. Goodbye.